Hello, everyone. I'm Luke Hanson McDonald, and I'd like to welcome you to the first ever Virtual Dreamscape event in support of the Phoenix Youth Programs. It's more important than ever that we come together as a community during this crisis. We'd like to recognize that we are on unceded Mi'kmaq territory. We are privileged to be together in Mi'kmaqi, the traditional and ancestral lands of the Mi'kmaq, and confirm our desire to walk in friendship.
And my name is Graham Langell. Luke and I are proud to be volunteer co-chairs of Dreamscape for the 5th consecutive year. Every year, Phoenix Youth Program impacts hundreds of at-risk youth in our community. The work Phoenix does is truly unparalleled and offers hope and opportunity to those who need and deserve it most. Together, we can make a difference. Although we were disappointed to have to cancel this year's Dreamscape as an in-person event, the health and safety of our community had to come first. Like so many organizations and people in today's world, Phoenix has had to pivot, and Dreamscape is no different. We're excited technology has allowed us to virtually come together for this special cause. For that, we're very thankful, and we hope you enjoy the event.
The COVID crisis turned the world upside down. Phoenix has worked very hard to keep everybody safe while still continuing to deliver the essential services they provide to youth and children across our communities. Throughout the show, you will hear from some of Phoenix's frontline workers who have been delivering this essential support to the youth and their families. These are the true heroes. As well, you will be hearing from some of our major sponsors, as well an inspirational story from a current youth, Seth. Last but not least, you will definitely get some excellent entertainment.
Phoenix is here for our youth, but they need our help, now more than ever. That's why it's so important to give and to give now. Dreamscape is Phoenix's largest annual fundraiser, and although we could not be together in person this evening, I'm asking that we still come together and support this worthy cause. For every donation made this evening during Virtual Dreamscape, Sobeys has so generously offered to match dollar for dollar every donation up to $15,000. On top of that, if we reach our $15,000 threshold, Paul and Marcia Sobey are personally going to match an additional $5,000. So let's hit that $20,000 mark, folks. Let's double our impact. At this time, we would like to recognize this year's returning Dreamscape co-presenting sponsors, Clearwater Seafoods and Miko Companies. This marks the 20th consecutive year that they've supported Phoenix in this way. Absolutely incredible. A huge thank you to Colin, Mickey, and the entire MacDonald families for your loyal commitment to the youth in our community. In addition, we would like to thank our other generous Dreamscape sponsors and donors.
And finally, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's tuning in. I really appreciate you taking the time. You are making a huge difference in many people's lives. Please give generously because it is very needed right now. And without further ado, allow me to introduce one of our very own Phoenix youth, Seth.
My name is Seth Grant. I'm 23 years old, and I've been involved with Phoenix for about a year. To speak truthfully, I don't find myself much of a public speaker. I've been thinking nonstop about what to say and how to perform, about how to reflect on my experience within Phoenix, about how in this moment I can give back just a portion of what this organization has given to me. I would like to start from the beginning, my beginning. There's always been a lot of darkness in my life. I was bullied all throughout school, down to the day I graduated in 2015. I've had to deal with a lot of family deaths at a young age caused by mental health issues and regular health issues. At the age of 4, I had a really bad injury to the head that caused me to have encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain, and that is a main contributor to all the mental health issues I suffer from today, along with family history. Growing up in the small town of Yarmouth, things were very challenging for me in a rural area like that. It was hard to feel truly accepted, to feel comfortable within my community. I never truly felt like I was understood, always knowing something was missing, so I decided to branch out and try and experience a different perspective. I got myself involved with a program through Nova Scotia Works to try and learn new skills and become employed, but it was difficult to get myself to Shelburne where the program was being held. I had no money, no home, no way to properly take care of myself. After talking to a couple people, I was informed of an organization called Phoenix and was told to call and see if it was something I thought would be of assistance to myself. So I did. I called the Phoenix shelter, spoke to staff, and got an understanding of what they could offer me in the moment, and it sounded like exactly what I was looking for. I got some help from the workers in Nova Scotia Works to help pay for fuel so I could travel to Halifax, and that same night I drove 4 hours, and that's where it all started. I've been in Halifax for about a year, and in that time my life has changed so much for the good. While I was staying at the Phoenix shelter, I got involved with the YES program through the Phoenix Learning and Employment Center, and I took advantage of all the different things that Phoenix had to offer, like a lot of mental health resources. I learned differently and school just doesn't work for me. Through the YES program, I got workplace training and worked with staff to get a placement at a garage, a place where I've always wanted to work. When I finished my placement, I was taken on as a registered apprentice. So being able to do a work placement at a garage and learn things hands-on has been great. I'm really, really glad that the YES program was an option because it really worked out for me. Without it, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today. A year from now, I will be in Block 2 of my apprenticeship, putting me closer to reaching my goals of becoming a Red Seal mechanic. Hopefully with my Red Seal, I can continue to work at Pickram Automotive because the people are great and they're really good teachers and are open and understanding. And in the next 10 years, I'd like to be running my own shop. So it's really cool. I can do something that I'm good at for 8 hours a day that keeps me busy, and my mental health is the best it's been in a long time. I would say it's good, and that's huge for me. Phoenix staff encourage me. They see things in me that I don't necessarily see in myself on a daily basis. They get really involved with people, which is great because if they didn't, then I definitely wouldn't be in this position today. I would have beaten myself down as I normally do, and I would go back to giving up when things don't work out right away. Phoenix has helped me in so many ways, and I'm thankful. The blessings I've gotten from the moment I walk through the doors are priceless. They will stick with me for the rest of my life, as I will stick by this organization. To say you helped me find my path is an understatement. You helped me find acceptance, you helped me to find family, and Phoenix, you helped me to find myself.
Hi, my name is Colin McDonald from Clearwater Seafoods. We've been supporters, I've been a big supporter of Phoenix House for over 20 years. It's important to us because the youth are our future. They are tomorrow's adults, they are tomorrow's entrepreneurs, they are tomorrow's teachers, they are tomorrow's workers. Unfortunately, they find themselves on the street for a variety of reasons: poverty, abuse, too many reasons to talk to at the moment, but they need our help, and they especially need it now during this COVID period. Organizations such as Phoenix House, who carry on fundraising through programs like Dreamscape, etc., are finding it really difficult to have those programs this year. Phoenix House continues to operate, continues to offer its programs. Its staff are dedicated to helping these youth and getting them off the street. And they're looking to you and to me, obviously, for our continued support and our donations. So I'd ask you from the bottom of my heart to please think about our youth. I thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you'll come through this safe and healthy.
Hi, my name is Mickey McDonald. With my brother Colin, we both believe strongly in the great work that Phoenix does with our youth, who find themselves lost through no fault of their own. And I know that COVID has affected us all, especially those who need our help the most. I would ask you to join us in supporting our youth through a donation to the Phoenix to help them continue with the great work they do every day. Thank you all very much, and we'll get through this together.
Hello, my name is Allison.
I'm Becca.
And I'm Fiona, and we're the clinical therapists that make up the Phoenix Youth and Family Therapy team. Since COVID-19 was announced as a global pandemic, and as public spaces began to close, and as people were asked to shelter at home, it's been a sometimes overwhelming and quite scary time for many of us. Many of the people that we're privileged to work with faced heavy challenges even before COVID-19, and far too often they were challenges related to systemic issues like discrimination, like poverty, like lack of housing, food insecurity. And all of these were amplified when the pandemic hit. Our team has been working really hard to find meaningful and creative ways to be there for the youth and families that we work with. And we know that our relationships are foundational to everything that we do. So we're trying to find ways to stay closely connected and doing our very best to try to help address some obstacles to meet even some very basic needs.
Hi, my name's Jesse Thompson, and I'm a community outreach worker with Phoenix Youth and Community Center in Mulgrave Park, also known as PYCC. When things started to shut down due to COVID-19, it was our center's focus to connect with youth, families, and community residents to ensure that everyone was healthy and safe. Our team was able to gather different resources such as gift cards, cleaning supplies, food kits, and connect community residents with different government fundings that were rolling out, such as CERB and EI. At PYCC, we really value the relationships that we've been able to develop in the community, and we wanted to continue to build on those relationships. We also wanted to let folks know that we were going to be here even though things were closing around them. But it was really amazing to see the community of Mulgrave Park come together because, as you know, they're a strong, resilient community because it very much feels like a family at the center, and that has to do with the community that we're in.
I'm Katie. I'm the coordinator of LEAP, or Learn and Explore at Phoenix. We modified the way we work to follow public health protocols while continuing to provide essential services. But for many youth, Phoenix is home. We have 5 residential spaces that needed to continue to run. Many of our community program staff are experienced in residential service delivery, myself included. We took on shifts in the residential spaces to offer support there. All staff were adapting to the changing needs. We've always been collaborative, but this was even bigger. I also took on grocery shopping for the shelter, a position I held from 2012 to 2015. Being back in this role, I was able to connect with youth in a true Nova Scotian style, in the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Alana. I'm an outreach worker with Phoenix.
Hi, my name is Marianne, and I'm an intensive case manager with Phoenix Center for Youth. PCFY is a drop-in center that, before the pandemic, saw up to 40 youth every day. They dropped in for case management support, referrals, health services, food, laundry, clothing, and household items. Some people enjoyed popping by for snacks, social time, and to have a safe and supportive place to simply be. When we had to close our physical space for the safety of our youth, we had to rethink how we provided these services to ensure that needs would continue to be met. We've always connected with youth virtually through social media, email, and by phone and text, but that is now our primary way to stay in touch and allows us to check in. During the pandemic, PCFY has become sort of a hub for collecting all the items that we need. Feed Nova Scotia, for example, drops by 4 times a week, which helps stock the food boxes that we deliver every day.
As an outreach worker, I'm used to being on the roads most days. I provide case management right in the youth's communities, much like Marianne, as well as navigate them to services that are in their own communities. Adapting to the pandemic required us to get a bit creative, so Marianne and I decided to team up. We're on the road daily, delivering food boxes, essential items, and gift cards to youth and their families, as well as still providing all of the phone support to navigate youth to resources. Just because we're in a pandemic, it didn't change all of the barriers that have brought youth to Phoenix in the first place. They still existed and youth still needed help.
So we've always held dual roles as both therapists and clinical consultants to the agency as whole, providing guidance and support to other programs on an as-needed basis. We also offer training workshops and a 7-week-long learning series for staff.
As we've adjusted to working remotely, we've balanced our clinical work with the important roles that social workers play in not only helping people cope with difficult circumstances, but also helping them access necessary resources and supports. At the beginning of the pandemic, a bunch of new social programs and financial relief options were popping up. And the complexity of this changing landscape, combined with the stress that can come from financial uncertainty, compelled us to start gathering resource information to share with our clients and the agency as a whole. Being able to direct folks appropriately to help get their basic needs met was one of the first things that we knew had to be addressed.
When it comes to our clinical work, we've been so fortunate to be able to continue to offer therapy services to our youth and families over the phone or through video calls. We're so impressed with our youth and families who are already up against such significant challenges pre-pandemic. And then with COVID, what was already hard is now doubly hard. And to this end, in addition to resource provision, much of our work done during this time has been normalizing that what everybody's feeling makes sense under the circumstances. We've often heard youth say things like, why am I so sad or not motivated or irritable and frustrated and angry? Why am I crying over nothing? We've had parents who are concerned about their kids' well-being and that they are feeling the tension in their home rise. We talk a lot about what is absolutely normal to feel in this unusual time. We say, of course you're feeling these things. Look what you're having to deal with on top of existing challenges. And inside of this pandemic, we've all endured a mass shooting, and we have all been witnessing the terrible ugliness of systemic racism laid bare, which has activated your past and current trauma. So is it any wonder that you're feeling sad or angry or frustrated or weepy and scared? This is what makes you a wonderful and complex and compassionate human. We also talk a lot with our youth and parents about trying to find meaning in this. How can staying home and being careful contribute to the greater good? How to find ways to be okay with the thoughts and the feelings within this new stillness.
At PYCC, we focus on the community of Mulgrave Park as a whole. Our team was able to create a community check-in list, which we met about daily, to discuss needs identified by the community, as well as how our team was best going to support those needs. At PYCC, our flyer has always been the best way of getting information out about our supports and services, and even in the pandemic, we were still able to get the flyer out. We practiced social distancing, wore masks and gloves, and followed regulations that came out through the agency as well as the government to ensure that community residents as well as staff were safe. In addition to our weekly veggie drops and food box deliveries, we were able to partner with Sackville's Jesse's Pizza and do pizza kits for the community. Due to COVID-19, the Lebanese festival was canceled, and their organization committee was able to donate 2,000 hot meals throughout HRM. PYCC was lucky enough to be included in that, and we were able to get some of these hot meals out to the community, which they were able to enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Doug Coldwell, and I'm the academic coach with Phoenix Youth and Community Center located in the north end of Halifax in Mulgrave Park. During this past school year, I had roughly 65 youth on my caseload, ranging from junior high aged youth from Highland Park and Oxford schools, Citadel High School youth, as well as post-secondary students. Recognizing the privilege that I benefited from as being a white male, I make conscious efforts to use my privilege in the advocacy work with youth. Prior to COVID-19, you could find me 3 days a week at Citadel High School, offering academic supports to our high school students connected to Phoenix Youth programs. The remaining 2 days a week, I was at Phoenix Youth and Community Center in Mulgrave Park, offering academic supports through one-on-one sessions, as well as running our tutoring program with my coworker and team lead of Phoenix Youth and Community Center, Tricia Mercer. In April, we created an online Google Classroom to support and engage our youth in academics. 30 hours per week were devoted to students who required additional academic support as we pushed through the unprecedented times of COVID-19. By having our youth connected with me virtually, we were able to share assignments, questions, make edits on homework, and they were successful for the remaining of this academic school year.
Hi, I'm Janelle. I'm an employment counselor at Phoenix Learning and Employment Center, also known as PLEC. When it comes to employment and education, COVID-19 was disruptive for everyone. While much of Nova Scotia came to a halt, for many of our youth, their work continued and in some cases became more challenging. Colleges, universities, and high schools made the switch to online learning, which meant that youth now needed access to personal computers and reliable internet in order to complete their semesters. It's also quite an adjustment moving from in-class to online learning, as you can imagine. This is also a really busy time for youth planning to attend post-secondary in the fall, as youth are planning on applying for scholarships, preparing student loan applications, and registering for their courses as well. To address these needs, Plex shared information on how to access government benefits and supported youth with their applications to CERB, CESB, and EI. We also continued offering free income tax returns remotely, and the Plex team rallied to gather computers for youth who needed them for work or school purposes. We also assisted youth with their rights around healthy and safe workplaces and continued supportive counseling around youth's career and employment choices.
While the province is beginning to open up and restrictions are starting to relax, the impacts and challenges this pandemic has created are long-lasting. The unknowns make it difficult to plan programming, but we're up to the challenge. Our volunteers are also missing working with our youth, so they've stepped up and created some virtual activities. A bonus to this work is that youth can participate when they want instead of a set time that might not work for everyone. And we will be able to share a lot with the greater community. We're looking forward to taking our online learning around Halifax this summer too. Yoga in the park, paint nights by the lake, the possibilities are endless.
Summer programming plans have also been disrupted at Phoenix Youth and Community Center in Mulgrave Park, and we've been working on how we can take our activities online. We have one team creating youth activities and another team with the adult community programming. Last week, we ran our first ever online Zoom bingo, which we had over 30 participants. Within the coming weeks, we will do things such as online scavenger hunts, as well as we will be doing community kitchens, and chicken soup will be on the menu. As Katie said, there's a lot of unknowns, but one thing's for certain is that Phoenix is here for our youth, families, and communities that we serve. A highlight of this is seeing the creativity and tenacity of my colleagues as we work together to find ways to offer supports and services.
So true, Doug. The youth and staff have kept each other's spirits high during this time. I even heard rumors of a possible staff versus youth basketball game happening soon. Thanks for listening to our stories on what we've been up to in the community. Take care of each other, be kind, and stay safe.
Well, this wasn't exactly what we were planning for Dreamscape, but everything has changed these days. It's sort of surreal times, and I'm really appreciative that you're here today on our virtual Dreamscape. My name is Mary Link. For the past 20 years, I've had the great fortune of being a volunteer for Phoenix and producing Dreamscape. This year, of course, it's virtual, but I guess this year too, the importance of community, of reaching out and helping each other has never been maybe as profound as it is right now, when we sort of sense a lack of the strings that hold us all together. So we're doing this now through the computer. And a big part of Dreamscape, of course, is a cornerstone, is a youth speaker and the music. And music is such a universal language, and especially in times of difficulty, music is so, so important. So Ben Caplan, the extraordinary musician, songwriter, entertainer, is going to be performing for us today. He was supposed to be performing for us live. Ben has co-wrote Old Stock, a refugee story that went around the world. I saw it in actually New York to acclaim. He's soulful. His voice has been described as rugged, raspy, and roaring with charisma. And Ben has so kindly agreed to do a virtual concert for us today in support of Phoenix. He's played for us before at Phoenix. He's a fabulous man, a mensch, a talent. And without further ado, I hand it over to the incomparable, the brilliant Ben Caplan.
Hello there. Hello, good people of the internet and of Halifax and the world beyond. It's such an honor and a joy to be able to participate in this year's Phoenix event. Unfortunately, the gala, of course, is not able to happen with the current COVID context, but hopefully next year it will, what's the appropriate metaphor? Rise out of the ashes. So I'm going to play some songs for you in support of Phoenix. Hopefully you can make a contribution to support the great work that they do, since the gala is not happening in person this year. It's going to depend on your spirit of goodwill. And Phoenix is a really valuable and extraordinary organization. They help between 700 to 1,000 youth in the region per year. Their work includes outreach and crisis support and family and youth therapy and housing support, employment support, all sorts of really, really valuable services, and I hope that you can dig deep and make a contribution. I'm going to play a few songs for you. This first number that I'm going to do is a song that I wrote with another gentleman from Halifax by the name of Christian Barry, and this is a song that he and I wrote together for the play that we made along with Hannah Moscovich and produced by Tubi Theatre Company. It's a show called Old Stock, and this is a song from that show, and it's called Lullaby. It goes like this. Butcher's gone home, the candles have spent, soon the light will be gone. Soften your brow, dear, breathe slow and deep, let your eyes close as you drift off to sleep. The moon, the sun in the sea, now is the quiet, just baby and me. And the sun will sleep in the ocean tonight, and the cool of the water makes everything right. And the ocean once dreamed it could shine high above, but protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. We used to go dancing, we used to drink wine, we used to buy flowers, and now we buy time. Mommy and Daddy would work bare our hands to make sure you have all you need in this land. The moon in a window, the sun in the sea, now is the quiet, just baby and me. And the sun will sleep in the ocean tonight, and the cool of the water makes everything right. And the ocean once dreamed it could shine high above, but protecting, reflecting the sun is enough. And the sun will sleep in the ocean tonight, and the cool of the water makes everything right. And the ocean once dreamed it the sun is enough. There you go. With all the sights and sounds of Point Pleasant Park here on this beautiful day. I'll do another tune for you, and what will I do next for you? I'll sing a song that's one of my more upbeat kind of numbers for you. This is a tune called Under Control. It goes like this. There's a churning around. I can't fall asleep and the drugs won't stay down. There's a burning I found. It's deep in the pit where the blood pumps around. All the children are laughing outside. The work never sleeps and there's nowhere to hide. It's under control far as anyone's seen, but there ain't enough to climb out the latrine. There's a witness out there. We've got to pretend that the money's still here. There's a knocking, knock at the door. We'll tell them that Uncle don't live here no more. All the angels are crying downstairs. The brandy's run out, but their God never cares. They'll slap them and tell them the evening's been ruined, and his robes reek of failure and cheap French perfume. La-di-dum-dum, da-di-dum-dum, da-ba-da-ba-da-li-di-da-ba-da. La-di-dum-dum, da-di-dum-dum, ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-ba-da. Da-di-dum-ba, da-di-dum-ba, da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There's a tinkerer in town. She'll fix everything till the money's been found. There's a watchman, he's guarding the door with a drink in his hand and a gun on the floor. And the monsters broke in through the sewers again, and they spend every night making ever more friends. They've conquered the bowels of Paris, and now they have every intention of taking the town. There's a bottle in my bed. It helps me to reach for the switch in my head. There's a madness at bay, but a cold wind will blow down the levee someday. A train whistle blows, the conductor's been hanged in a white little house. A red telephone rang, and it's under control far as anyone's seen, but there ain't enough to climb out the latrine. La da 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 dum, da 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 dum, la da 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 dum, da dum. La da 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 dum, da 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 dum, ba da 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 dum, ba dum. Well, there's that song for you, and I'm gonna do one more song for you, and I'm gonna play one that I think might be quarantine appropriate. It's a song about missing connection and wanting to go home and see your loved ones and all those kinds of things. So this is a song that I wrote while I was on the road a few years back, and it's called Night Like Tonight. On a night like tonight, when there's no one around, I don't have any friends in this town. Flip through my books, wash my clothes in the sink, and there's only one thought I can think. On a night like tonight, with no concert to play, but I'm stuck on the road anyway. A hotel room with an ashtray by the bed, and I can't get you out of my head. I just wanna sing you a love song, just wanna be by your side. I'm so through with these new foreign landscapes, I just wanna see your face. On a night like tonight, when my passion's been spent, I'm just working a job to pay rent, to be so far from home, to be living my dreams. I guess nothing is quite what it seems. On a night like tonight, when the rain keeps me in, I'm so tired of the usual sins. A church bell rings and I'm certain at last that I'm finally done with the past. And I know that at home you're still waiting for me to climb up those stairs. And I know that you're still hesitating, but baby, I'm already there. I just wanna sing you a love song, just wanna be by your side. I'm so through with these new foreign landscapes, I just wanna see your face. There you go, good people of Phoenix and their supporters and the internet all around. It's been a real pleasure to be here with you. You know what? Just in case there's time for one more, there's this tune that I wanted to try for you, and it's sort of just a hair beyond what I'm capable of pulling off, but I might be able to get it for you. This is a tune that I thought would be apropos for this kind of event. It's from a famous musical cartoon that you may have been aware of at some point, and I thought, just as a sentiment of wanting to find a way of belonging and wanting to find a way of interfacing with the world, I think it has a beautiful relationship to the work of what Phoenix is doing. So here's my best shot at it. Here you go. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you'd think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs, I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing. Ooh, walking around down that, on her walking around on those, what did you call them? Oh yeah, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, walking around down that, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. what would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they'd understand. Bet they don't reprimand their daughters, bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand, and ready to know what the people know. Ask 'em I, and ready to know what the people know. Ask 'em my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word burn? When's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore above? Out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that There you go. Thanks so much for watching, and please give generously and have a beautiful whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. Take care.
Wow, Mr. Ben Caplan, everybody. Knocked it out of the park, Ben, yet again. You're so talented, and thank you so much for donating your time and your talent to support Phoenix Youth programs. We are most grateful. I hope you enjoyed Ben's performance as much as I did. As many of you are relaxing in your homes, engaging with us virtually, I would like for you to consider that for youth who live in one of Phoenix's residential spaces, Phoenix is their home. Next, we're going to have an update on how things are going for staff and youth in Phoenix's residential programs. Please remember to support this worthy cause. As Anne Frank said, no one has become poor by giving. Stay well and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hi, my name is Kelly Adamson, and I'm the manager of the Phoenix Supportive Housing Program. All 5 residential spaces were at capacity when COVID-19 reached Nova Scotia and things began to shut down. For the youth who reside within the Supportive Housing Program, this is their home. As more and more other programs and services closed throughout the province, and we were holding house meetings to talk about this with the youth, there was a concern voiced by the youth that our doors would too close and that they would be without a safe place to live. We assured them that we were not going anywhere. Staff leaned in to help ensure that the youth were not only safe and well, but also saw and felt that we remained here for them. We adapted how we work and developed new procedures to ensure public health protocols were being met. And staff worked around the clock, literally, we're a 24/7 program, to create a sense of normality and bring some levity to a weighty situation. A staple of any home is dinner around the table, and so we tried to use meal times to sort of create that sense of normality and community within the home.
Hello, my name is Rob Morris, and I'm the Director of Residential Programs with Phoenix. It was clear from the early days of this pandemic that the youth in our programs were understandably anxious about COVID-19, but it is hard to be more impressed with how they dealt with the day-to-day life in the middle of all of this. When an individual within the greater shelter community Halifax tested positive for COVID-19, we had the opportunity to have all youth and staff tested within our residential programs. It is fair to say that there was much anxiety and apprehension as the testing took place, and waiting for the results was difficult, but like a family would, youth continued to be supportive and kind to one another. We were really in this together, and fortunately, all tests for youth and staff came back negative. We made sure to keep the calendars filled with activities that we could do inside or in small groups outside, like neighborhood walks, movie nights, board and video games, and arts and crafts, with the occasional prank sprinkled in to keep things light. We provided opportunities for youth to be virtually connected to an outside world that suddenly became so much smaller. Right now, things are feeling more normal. We have beautiful outdoor spaces at all the residential locations. Youth are starting to engage in more normal routines, all with an eye to practicing safe guidelines in all their activities, whether that be gardening, backyard barbecue, a simple game of basketball, or even going fishing for the annual seasonal mackerel run. For many youth, catching the fish is fun. Eating them, however, not so much.
The pandemic is by no means over, and we must all continue to do our part. Youth come to Phoenix for a reason. Most are facing barriers and looking for support, and we need to continue to be there for them, regardless of what's going on in the greater world. I would like to take this time to thank staff for their ongoing dedication and commitment to the youth, families, and communities that we work with, and to the youth. Thank you for your patience and your compassion with each other, as we've all been sort of stuck in the same place for a very long time now. And thank you for your patience with us as staff. Your resilience is inspiring. To our community, thank you for standing with us and doing your part to slow the spread of COVID-19. Please continue to take care of one another, and we will get through this together.
Hello everyone, my name is Jim Dixon and I'm chair of the board of directors of Empire Company Limited and Sobeys. At Empire and Sobeys, we're proud to be long-standing sponsors of Dreamscape for Phoenix youth. In addition to my involvement through Empire and Sobeys, our family has been associated with Phoenix youth for many years, and we're grateful for the critical role that it plays with youth in our community, in our city, and across our province. Empire and Sobeys share this commitment to Phoenix, and we recognize the critical role that Phoenix plays in delivering much needed services to youth and families and to our communities at large. The most recent COVID-19 pandemic hasn't changed our commitment. I believe it's more important than ever for all of us to be generous in our support to Phoenix now at this time. The pandemic has fundamentally changed the fundraising landscape, not just here in Halifax or in Nova Scotia, but across the country. Phoenix is here for the youth that need our help. And at this time, when we can't come together to have Dreamscape and the celebration that we would normally have, it is critically important that we continue to support Phoenix through this online medium, and I would ask you to give generously to support the growing need that Phoenix meets in our community. Thank you all. I look forward to being together with you next year for the Dreamscape event in 2021.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for Virtual Dreamscape. I hope you've enjoyed the stories from our staff and youth and music from the amazingly talented Ben Caplan. I'd like to take this time to thank our youth speaker, Seth. His story highlights how with determination, drive, and the proper supports in place, anything is possible. My name is Deanne McLeod, and I'm the chair of the Board of Directors for Phoenix Youth Programs. The global pandemic continues to exact a terrible toll on the world. While Nova Scotia is beginning to ease restrictions, we cannot lose sight of the gravity of the situation and must acknowledge the anxiety caused by the uncertainty of what tomorrow might hold. The past months have been difficult for everyone, as lives have been lost and families continue to face unimaginable pressures. It is in these difficult times that existing inequities are highlighted as they've never been before. The youth, families, and communities Phoenix has the privilege of serving were already facing challenges, including poverty, housing and food insecurity, systemic discrimination, and more. It became a crisis within a crisis for many. Phoenix Youth Programs is an essential service in our community. The weight of working during a pandemic, both in our residential and community programs, has been heavy, but Phoenix staff have shown nothing but passion, commitment, and teamwork. They continue to adapt to the ever-changing environment with expertise and purpose. With modifications in place, all programs have remained active and all staff engaged. I want to thank staff for their unwavering focus and dedication. The amount of effort that has gone into not only keeping those we serve safe and well, but also bringing moments of joy and levity was tremendous. I am proud and grateful for the work you do. Recently, the Black Lives Matter movement has regained strength both globally and locally. The crushing biases, barriers, violence, and oppression that Black, Indigenous, and people of color face daily are deplorable. At Phoenix, we are committed to advancing the tenets of social justice. We recognize that this work is continuous and necessary at every level, from board leadership to service delivery. We are committed. To our youth, families, and communities, I am inspired by your ongoing tenacity, especially in the face of a pandemic. The challenges of the last 4 months have been enormous. Thank you for allowing us into your lives. We hold this as a sacred trust and are honored to have these relationships with you. We will continue to be here. To our supporters, I am moved by how many have stepped up in these difficult times to share with Phoenix and offer support. Phoenix will continue to rise to this challenge, but the year ahead is going to be difficult for the community sector. All not-for-profits will be challenged financially, while at the same time the needs of youth, families, and communities will continue to increase beyond pre-COVID-19 levels. Thank you to those who have given. For those who can, donating online is a great, safe way to help. If you would prefer to donate items, we always need grocery and drugstore gift cards, non-perishable food items, diapers and baby wipes, and cleaning supplies. For those who cannot give at this time, please stay connected with us and support our community with tolerance, acceptance, and understanding. And now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our closing video. Years ago, Phoenix and Bishop's Choir collaborated on a choral music project. This was a beautiful way to bring youth, staff, and community together in song. Bishops reached out to Phoenix during the height of the pandemic to collaborate once more with Phoenix staff, youth, and community members in an effort to raise spirits. Please enjoy, and thank you again for joining us at Virtual Dreamscape.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow.
Lean on me
when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me.
lean on me
when you're not strong.